Most gardeners buy bagged soil thinking they're investing in long-term success. They fill raised beds with it. They mix it into containers. They top off garden beds every spring. And the first year, everything looks great. Plants grow fast, soil drains well. It feels light and fluffy. Then the second season arrives and everything changes. The soil compacts. It dries out too fast or stays soggy. Plants struggle despite feeding and watering. So gardeners assume the solution is simple. They buy more soil. They add more fertilizer. They repeat the process. What they don't realize is that store-bought soil isn't designed to last. It's designed to work once, then break down. And the reason it fails isn't random. It's structural. Once you understand why bagged soil collapses, you stop blaming yourself and start seeing the system for what it is. Store-bought soil isn't really soil. It's a manufactured growing medium. Most bags are made from peat moss or coco coir as a base, mixed with perlite or vermiculite for drainage, and sometimes a small amount of compost or bark. Some brands add slow-release fertilizer. That's it. There's no mineral diversity, no clay or silt, no established biology. It's lightweight, consistent, and shelf-stable. Those are great traits for shipping and storage. They're terrible traits for long-term soil health. Peat and cocoa hold moisture at first, but they decompose quickly once watering and microbes get involved. Perlite improves drainage, but it doesn't hold soil together. Compost and bark break down rapidly, especially in warm climates, and fertilizer runs out within weeks or months. What you're buying is a temporary structure that performs well briefly and then collapses. The bag doesn't tell you that. The marketing suggests permanence. The biology says otherwise. The first year works because nothing has been consumed yet. Air pockets are intact. Organic matter hasn't broken down. Nutrients are still available. Roots move easily. Water behaves predictably. But underneath, the system is already unstable. There's no mechanism to regenerate what's being lost. No deep roots bringing minerals up. No nitrogen being fixed from the air. No living network rebuilding structure. By the end of the season, the organic matter is mostly gone. The structure has collapsed, and the nutrients have been used up. In healthy soil, that wouldn't be a problem. Healthy soil replaces what's lost. Bagged soil can't. So in year 2, the failure becomes obvious. Water pools are run straight through. Roots struggle to penetrate. Plants show deficiencies early, even with fertilizer. Growth stalls. Gardeners respond the only way they've been taught. They add more inputs, more fertilizer, more perlite, more bags. That helps briefly, but it doesn't fix the cause. Because the problem isn't nutrients, it's structure. The soil has lost its ability to function as a living system. It no longer cycles nutrients effectively. It no longer supports beneficial organisms. It no longer rebuilds itself between seasons. What you're left with is dead substrate that requires constant intervention just to produce anything. This is why raised beds filled entirely with bagged soil often need complete replacement within 3 to 5 years. And it's why container gardens require annual soil changes to stay productive. The soil isn't wearing out randomly, it's collapsing because it was never designed to be permanent. Bagged soil lacks 4 things real soil depends on. First, minerals. Real soil contains sand, silt, clay, and rock particles in different sizes. These minerals hold nutrients, buffer pH, and give soil permanence. Bagged soil is almost entirely organic matter. Organic matter decomposes. Without minerals, nothing holds the system together long term. Second, biology. Healthy soil is alive. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, insects, earthworms. They cycle nutrients, protect roots, and build structure. Bagged soil is often sterile or biologically sparse. Even if microbes are present, they lack diversity and food sources. There's no ecosystem. Third, continuous organic input. Real soil is constantly fed. Roots die and regrow. Leaves fall, organisms live and die. Bagged soil has a fixed amount of organic matter. Once it's gone, it's gone. Fourth, deep root activity. Natural systems rely on deep-rooted plants to mine minerals and create structure. Raised beds and containers isolate soil from subsoil. There's no connection to deeper nutrient reserves. Without these components, collapse is inevitable. That's why topping off with more bagged soil doesn't solve the problem. Each new layer breaks down the same way. You're renting performance instead of building it. Over 5 years, this costs hundreds of dollars. Over 10 years, thousands. And the soil never improves. It's a cycle that benefits manufacturers, not gardeners. Every bag you buy generates profit for someone else while leaving you dependent on the next purchase. The system is designed to keep you buying, not to create self-sufficiency. The alternative is building soil that regenerates itself. That means adding what bagged soil lacks: living biology, minerals, continuous organic input, and roots that stay in the ground. Compost helps because it's alive. It introduces organisms and feeds soil life. But compost alone isn't enough. You also need plants working for the soil. Cover crops, living mulches, roots that grow, die, and regrow, clover, grasses, deep-rooted plants. These systems generate fertility instead of storing it. They fix nitrogen, they cycle minerals, they rebuild structure automatically. The soil stops collapsing because it's no longer static. It's alive? Once you understand this, you start seeing the same problem everywhere. Raised beds that need constant topping off. Containers that dry out faster every year. Soil that looks fine on the surface but feels dead underneath. These aren't separate issues, they're the same design flaw repeating. Any system that stores fertility instead of generating it will always fail over time. Bagged soil stores fertility. Fertilizer stores fertility. Compost stores fertility. Living systems generate it. That's why gardens built on living systems get easier every year, and gardens built on purchased inputs get harder. One demands attention forever, the other compounds quietly. Most gardeners never make this shift because the failure is slow. Season by season. And slow failure feels normal. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. The moment you stop asking what to add and start asking what to keep alive. Soil stops being a recurring problem. It becomes an asset that appreciates over time instead of depreciating. An asset that works for you instead of requiring constant maintenance. Store-bought soil doesn't fail because you did something wrong. It fails because it was never designed to last. It's a temporary growing medium, not a living system. And no amount of topping off, fertilizing, or replacing bags will change that. Real soil isn't bought once and maintained forever. It's built slowly, fed continuously, and allowed to function on its own. When you stop replacing soil every season and start keeping it alive, the work decreases, the results improve, and the garden finally becomes stable. So stop renting soil performance. Start building soil that lasts.